Hello, hello. Happy wonderful Wednesday. I hope that you are well. Happy wonderful Monday. Listen, guys, I'm super excited. I'm in the middle of the week already. I'm Elder Carissa Span. This is what I do each and every Monday. As your landlord and tenant coach, I come to share information that will help landlords as well as tenants. I am excited to share some information today. True story. I am sharing tonight. I received a call a little earlier today from someone who is experiencing a really challenging time during the holidays. And as people are getting ready for the Christmas holiday, the Christmas spirit, as you can see in my background, people are preparing to just get into a different headspace. There are some unfortunate events that are happening in so many communities for a lot of tenants. And so, true story today, I received a call from someone who has been impacted, whereas they, never expected to go through a situation with their landlord. I'm going to touch on that today, but I promise that the information that I share, my only goal is to make sure that it's clear, it's relevant, and it's understandable information that anybody can listen to and understand. I am not giving legal advice. However, I will definitely share the industry's best practice. This is what I do each and every Monday right here on this Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn page. And again, I am Carissa Span. I am the landlord and tenant coach. I'm excited that you are joining me today. Please let me know where you're tuned in from. I love to know where my viewers are watching from. Show me some love in the chat box. Say, hey, girl, hey. Let me know that you are here. Let me know where you are watching from. And so the story that I'm sharing today, it's near and dear to me because I know this tenant personally, and so they reached out to me for some help. But this is not the first scenario. This is not the first case that this has happened, and it happens to a lot of people throughout rental property communities. And so if you're a landlord, please listen in. If you are a tenant, please listen in. I promise that if this information is not applicable or relevant to you, then it may be possible that someone that you know could use this information. If you have questions, please drop it in the comment section. I will address all of your questions today. But this is just hot off the press. True story. There's a tenant who has been renting a property, and she's been at this property for an extended period of time. So a new owner has now taken over possession of the property. So someone, they bought the property from the previous landlord. Now, here is where the story got a little, I don't know, a little foggy for me because the owner, the previous owner, sold the property to the new person and didn't tell the tenant. And so there was a situation that happened at the property. There were some maintenance issues, whereas the previous owner did not take care of those repairs. Okay, so let me just start there. There were some issues, and I don't know if they, maybe they just discussed selling the property as is, whereas the new owner did not conduct a housing inspection. Well, for whatever reason, this new owner purchased the property. So when that happens, owners, they inherit the problem of the previous owner. So what happened is in this particular situation, it sounds like there were some pre-existing maintenance issues that the new owner was not aware of. Okay. And so in the kitchen, a fire started because the wires were faulty. The microwave actually caught on fire while the tenant was sleeping in the property. So the tenant woke up alarmed, smoke filled the rental property, and the tenant was displaced, had to actually leave the property because when the fire department came, what the fire department they do. If you're a property manager, you already know they're going to bust the door down if they can. So they damaged the door, and to make sure that there were no fires behind the wall, they destroyed the walls. And what wasn't destroyed by the axe, or their tools and equipment, the water hose, the water rather, damaged the property. So there was water damage, there was physical damage to the property because the fire department had to make sure that the place was safe. Well, uh, long story short, in this situation, unfortunately, the tenant had to leave and go to a hotel. I say unfortunate because sometimes you never expect to have to leave your personal belongings behind because of an unexpected emergency. So here it is. This tenant goes to this hotel, thinking that it was going to be a temporary situation until the owner got in there to make the repairs that were needed to allow the tenant to move back into the rental property. So I'm not really sure how long the tenant was out of the property, but what happened next kind of blew my mind because I've been in the rental property industry for almost 30 years and I've never um, treated anybody like this new owner treated this tenant. I mean, because here's the thing, it's a business. And if you've been watching me for a while, I have this philosophy that if you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you like a business, right? And if you treat it like a hobby, well, it's going to pay you like a hobby. So, anyway, um, the new landlord changed the locks of the rental property and did not allow the tenant to come back into this place. As a matter of fact, he told the tenant he did not want her back in there. Um, and that was the first and the biggest mistake that he could have made. So he changed the locks and did not provide the tenant with the key. That is an illegal eviction. I don't care how you slice the pie, unless the owner takes the tenant to court, the landlord, the property manager, whoever, unless the tenant has been taken to court and the judge issues an eviction, landlords cannot go in and change the lock. I don't care if it's a fire. Maybe this owner just didn't like the tenant. I don't know what the situation was, but all I know is changing the locks without permission of the court is illegal. And so I did let this tenant know that she does have rights because tenants do have rights. And a lot of owners don't know and understand that. And so this is why I always say know what the laws are. Landlords cannot change the locks, whether it's a fire, a flood, an emergency. If the locks are changed, landlords are still required to make sure that the tenant has a key to the rental property. Well, this landlord told the tenant, you know what? I've changed the locks. I don't want you back at the property. And you have until, let's say, the tenant was at the hotel at 12 p.m. The landlord told this tenant that she could only go back to the property, but she has up until 5 p.m. that day, same day. That is illegal. And so in this situation, it is um, my hope that this tenant exercise her right and actually sue this landlord. Now, am I an advocate for tenants taking landlords to court? Absolutely, I am. If the landlord is at fault, the same way that landlords take tenants to court when they're at fault. And so, this landlord changed the lock, refused to give her a key, gave her a set amount of time to go back and get her belongings. Why? Because he just did not like the tenant. Now, he's new, and it sounds like he doesn't know the law, but here's what I know about the law. Laws don't care if you're new, if you're old, if you're black, if you're white. The laws are in place to protect landlords and tenants. Let me say that again. Laws are in place to protect landlords and tenants. And so, unfortunately, this landlord is going to learn the hard way of what not to do. Just because you own the property and just because you can do it, I promise you that if it's against the law, you probably shouldn't. And so, I will keep you updated on this story. I'll let you know how it turns out for this tenant. And it is so unfortunate that it's happened to her. But here's what I do know, it happens to a lot of people. Let me go back to the start of the pandemic. When we first got into the pandemic, I shared stories how landlords, they wanted tenants out, they were changing the locks, they were illegal evictions just as well, right? So nobody is above the law. And in this case, unfortunately, and I will put a great emphasis, unfortunately, this landlord will learn the hard way of what not to do. All right, so I will keep you posted on this story. Hey, Lynette, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for sharing. North Carolina is in the building. Lynette, true story. When so many people are preparing to get into the holiday season, the Christmas spirit, as you can see, the Christmas tree here, whatever side it's on, where I am. Unfortunately, people are going through things in rental units, and it is unfortunate that they have to face situations that they have no control over, where their things are damaged, they are illegally evicted, and it's just flat out wrong. I don't care how you slice the pie, it's just flat out wrong. Um, so my hope is to share information that will help somebody avoid going through this nightmare, because this is a nightmare for this family to have to go through this around the Christmas holiday, around the holiday season, where they should be spending time with their family and excited, to just have some sort of excitement, some positivity, if you will, right? Um, my heart goes out to the tenant, because I cannot imagine losing my things at the hand of my landlord, who has decided to take measures into their own hand, destroyed what was left of her and her children things. She can no longer get to it. She can't even access it. It's so heartbreaking. I have a heart for people. I don't like slum landlords. I don't like to hear about situations like this. Here's what I do know, that sometimes people, landlords, doesn't matter ethnicity, doesn't matter the culture, the background, the education, the income status, things happen to people. And sometimes people will take advantage of those who are in vulnerable situations and positions. And so, again, I will keep you posted on the outcome of this. I will track this story. I will follow it out to the end, because I know this person, um, and I want to share, because sharing is caring. But I do want to share of the good news that's going to come. I just believe that something good is going to come out of it. I know that right now it may feel like to this young lady that nothing good is coming out of this situation, but sometimes bad things happen to good people. But if you just stay the course, if you believe in God, you already know that things will work in your favor. And so that's my prayer for this young lady, that she'll just hang in there, that she'll trust the process, because the landlord will learn, because the laws are in place, and this landlord has definitely violated the law in a lot of major ways. Please make sure that you are plugged in with me each and every Monday right here on social media at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please make sure that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Please find my YouTube channel, Carissa Span, Landlord Life with Carissa Span. I share information to help landlords, tenants, and the entire rental community. My time is up. I thank you for yours. Please make sure that you join me right here next Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to say bye for now.